Chapter 12 of Plunkitt of Tammany Hall, a series of very plain talks on very practical politics. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mike Venditti. Plunkitt of Tammany Hall, a series of very plain talks on very practical politics by George Washington Plunkitt. Chapter 12. Dangers of the Dress Suit in Politics. Putting on the style don't pay in politics. The people won't stand for it. If you've got an aching for style, sit down on it till you have made your pile and landed a Supreme Court justiceship with a 14-year term at $17,000 a year, or some job of that kind. Then you've got about all you can get out of politics, and you can afford to wear a dress suit all day and sleep in it all night if you have a mind to. But before you have caught on to your life meal ticket, be simple. Live like your neighbors, even if you have the means to live better. Make the poorest man in your district feel that he is your equal, or even a bit superior to you. Above all things, avoid a dress suit. You have no idea of the harm that dress suits have done in politics. They are not so fatal to young politicians as civil service reform and drink, but they have scores of victims. I will mention one sad case. After the big Tammany victory in 1897, Richard Crocker went down to Lakewood to make up the slate of offices for Mayor Van Wyck to distribute. All the district leaders and many more Tammany men went down there, too, to pick up anything good that was going. There was nothing but dress suits at dinner at Lakewood, and Crocker wouldn't let any Tammany men go to dinner without them. Well, a bright young West Side politician who held a $3,000 job in one of the departments went to Lakewood to ask Crocker for something better. He wore a dress suit for the first time in his life. It was his undoing. He got stuck on himself. He thought he looked too beautiful for anything, and when he came home, he was a changed man. As soon as he got to his house, every evening he put on that dress suit and sat around in it until bedtime. That didn't satisfy him long. He wanted others to see how beautiful he was in a dress suit. So he joined dancing clubs and began going to all the balls that was given in town. Soon he began to neglect his family. Then he took to drinking, and didn't pay any attention to his political work in the district. The end came in less than a year. He was dismissed from the department and went to the dogs. The other day I met him rigged out almost like a hobo, but he still had a dress suit vest on. When I asked him what he was doing, he said, "Nothin' at present, but I got a promise of a job enrollin' voters at Citizens Union headquarters." Yes, a dress suit had brought him to that low. I'll tell you another case right in my own assembly district. A few years ago I had as one of my lieutenants a man named Zeke Thompson. He did fine work for me, and I thought he had a bright future. One day he came to me, said he intended to buy an option on a house, and asked me to help him out. I like to see a young man acquiring property, and I had so much confidence in Zeke that I put up for him on the house. A month or so afterwards I heard strange rumors. People told me that Zeke was beginning to put on style. They said he had a billiard table in his house and had hired Jap servants. I couldn't believe it. The idea of a Democrat, a follower of George Washington Plunkitt in the 15th Assembly District, having a billiard table and Jap servants. One morning I called at the house to give Zeke a chance to clear himself. A Jap opened the door for me. I saw the billiard table. Zeke was guilty. When I got over the shock, I said to Zeke, "You are caught with the goods on. No excuses will go. The Democrats of this district ain't used to dukes and princes, and we wouldn't feel comfortable in your company. You'd overpower us. You had better move up to the 19th or 27th district and hang a silk stocking on your door." He went up to the 19th, turned Republican, and was looking for an Albany job the last I heard of him. Now, nobody ever saw me putting on any style. I'm the same Plunkitt I was when I entered politics 40 years ago. That is why the people of the district have confidence in me. If I went into the stylish business, even I, Plunkitt, might be thrown down in the district. That was shown pretty clearly in the senatorial fight last year. A day before the election, my enemies circulated a report that I had ordered a $10,000 automobile and a $125 dress suit. I sent out contradictions as fast as I could, but I wasn't able to stamp out the infamous Slander before the votin' was over, and I suffered some at the polls. The people wouldn't have minded much if I had been accused of robbing the city treasury, for they're used to slanders of that kind in campaigns, but the automobile and the dress suit were too much for them. Another thing that people won't stand for is showing off your learning. That's just putting on style in another way. If you're making speeches in a campaign, talk the language the people talk. Don't try to show how the situation is by quoting Shakespeare. Shakespeare was all right in his way, but he didn't know anything about 15th District politics. If you know Latin and Greek, and have a hankering to work them off on somebody, hire a stranger to come to your house and listen to you for a couple of hours. Then go out and talk the language of the 15th to the people. I know it's an awful temptation, the hankering to show off your learning. I've felt it myself. I know the awful consequences. End of chapter 12.